Alright, it's Friday. The 90th edition of the 24 Hours of Le Mans is tomorrow. So let's set the stage in a bit of a preview video here. First, I want to kick things off with the hypercar class. It was a 6th consecutive pole position for Toyota Gazoo Racing around La Sarthe. But for the first time since 2018, the 8 car in the hands of Brendan Hartley fended off Kamui Kobayashi from tying Jackie Ickx with a record 5 pole positions. Nicolas Lapierre and the Alpine followed the Toyota front row lockout, then the 709 and 708 Glickenhaus 007s respectively. Now, I've been trying to find a common strong runner all week, and my mind keeps returning to Toyota. Qualifying pace aside, they've appeared faster and more consistent than Alpine and Glickenhaus across the practice sessions. Glickenhaus in particular seems to have struggled to find more race pace out of their car since the first free practice session on Wednesday. Romain Dumas was able to top the charts in free practice 2 on Wednesday night with a 3:28.9, but their pace dropped back into the 3:30s across both cars in last night's final practice, which really is when the cars should be running setups very close to what they'll have on Saturday for the race. Now what makes this interesting is that the 708, 709, and number 8 cars all have an identical recorded top speed this week, which leads me to believe that the Glickenhaus is losing half a second, maybe more, per lap in handling. But of course, if you want to talk about worse handling, you must consider tire wear. Can the Glickenhaus run a triple stint on tires as comfortably as the Toyota? Frankly, I'm not sure right now, but it's definitely something to keep in mind for the race. On the flip side, you have Alpine, who have been struggling this week with top speed. After they dominated Sebring, they lost in the realm of 26 horsepower, which is kind of ironic considering they were slower on top speed than Toyota and Glickenhaus at that race. Since then, they've managed to gain around 22 horsepower back, but it's still leaving them around 3 miles per hour down on their competitors going into the first chicane on the Mulsanne Straight. Sounds insignificant until you remember where they're racing. We're also expecting them to fall 1 lap short of their competition with fuel per stint, so they'll likely be pitting more often. It's not unprecedented. Audi won with the same scenario in 2011, but in my eyes, they'll have to push harder than Toyota and Glickenhaus all race long to try to force them into a mistake or reliability issues if they want a chance. Good segue to reliability, which seems to be the area where Toyota has struggled this week. We saw the number 8 car have to retire from the last race at Spa due to hybrid issues, and they appeared to have an error with the hybrid system yesterday morning in free practice 3 as well. Whether or not they believe they'll have these issues sorted before the race, it's a departure from the largely stable reliability we've seen out of that team for the last 5 or so years. Alpine is running an already detuned version of a car that has been running every year since 2018, and in that regard, they definitely have Toyota and Glickenhaus beat. Moving to GTE Pro in what will almost certainly be the final year for that class. Corvette has been leading the pack all week long. They've led every practice session, finished 1-2 on 2 of them, and qualified 1-2 as well. Porsche has largely been there with them throughout practice and qualifying. They could probably go for a slight weight decrease, but I don't see them having trouble fighting for the lead in the race as it stands. If anything, the consistent backmarker right now is Ferrari. They were hit with a turbo boost decrease amongst other things after the test last weekend, and on paper, not really sure why. At least in pure lap times, they were right alongside Corvette and Porsche at the test. At the end of the day, the people making these balance of performance decisions have more data than me, and perhaps there could be a bit of sandbagging going on, but I also wouldn't be surprised if there was another BOP update before the race. LMP2. I'll keep it short because there isn't as much to discuss here. Robin Frijns for WRT secured the pole, followed by the 22 United Autosports Oreca and the mighty 38 Jota team. I think there are reasonably a handful of teams that can fight for the overall win here. I'm looking at WRT, United, Cool Racing, Prema, Jota. One team I had high up, especially in the Pro-Am subcategory, was TDS Racing. But following some on-track incidents in Free Practice 1, and notably Free Practice 3, one of their drivers, Felipe Simodomo, has been ejected from the race by the stewards, leaving that team short a driver at the time I'm recording this. Another team that has stood out to me this week is Team Penske, who I feel may have struggled more than expected. They've barely cracked into the top 10 in any of the practice sessions, and have to settle for 9th in class on the grid. Definitely keep an eye on this class throughout the entire 24 hours if you can though, because it's almost guaranteed to deliver some of the best battles on track. Finally, we have the GTE AM class with a 23 car strong field. Again, I'll keep it brief, but I see a lot of standout entries in this class. The Ferrari teams in this class have shown a strong pace all week, unlike GTE Pro, with a front row lockout and 4 cars starting in the top 6. I also see lineups like the 77 Dempsey Proton Porsche as frontrunners with Christian Ried, Seb Priaulx, and Harry Tincknell. The 98 Northwest Aston Martin has also been very competitive, so I'm leaving this class wide open to any of the three manufacturers winning. In addition, Michael Fassbender is following in the footsteps of Patrick Dempsey as the latest actor turned Le Mans racer, with his debut in the 93 Proton Porsche alongside Zachary Robichon and Matt Campbell. Hey, that's really it though. I hope this was helpful, especially for any new viewers. Be sure to subscribe if you're interested in sports car racing content. I have a lot more planned. You can like this video if you want to support me. The YouTube overlord, known as the algorithm, tends to promote videos more often that way. And if you want to watch the race this weekend, it's $10 on the WEC app or website for anybody not in the US or Canada for a commercial-free stream and onboards. I've also linked the TV broadcast partners and a useful spotters guide in the description as well. Finally, you can come chat with me in the comments, on the channel Discord, or on my Twitter. Until next time, take care, enjoy the race, and I hope to see you in the next video.